Hello.
Mock, 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 mock.
It is
Hello.
Dad Joke Wednesday.
It
Always such a
is.
fun day of the week.
It really
I
is.
think it's going to be a fun show today. We've got some fun things to tell. Lots of news happened. There was a lot going on yesterday. We'll try to make sure that we cover all the main points. You may have missed the most recent update from Turning Point. It is just incredible, you guys. Before the memorial, they had 60,000 inquiries about starting new chapters. After the memorial, they are now at 120. And so even if they assume that there's going to be some dupes and some attrition from that number, they're on the cusp, according to Andrew Colvett, of having a TPUSA or Club America chapter in every single high school and college campus in the country.
Oh my God. It's so great. It is just so wonderful. I love this.
Amazing. Just incredible. Incredible.
It really is.
So what a legacy. What
I know,
a
right?
legacy.
So great.
Yeah. The other day when we were talking about the memorial, we kind of mentioned the fact that Tucker's speech rubbed some people the wrong way. We played a part of the speech that did not, that most people found unobjectionable. But there was a part where people were really like, why does he have to bring the Jews into it? Why is he trying to blame Jews? Like, there was that whole element. And I didn't get that sense when I listened to him, but I know a lot of people did. There's a lot of chatter about it still on Twitter. And Alex Berenson, who has a direct line to Tucker, decided to do a piece on this and texted Tucker, got permission from Tucker to share the text exchange, and he called him out directly. And he was like, this is how it sounds to people. What do you have to say for yourself, essentially? And so he was given permission by Tucker, in fact, encouraged by Tucker to share their text exchange. So I will play the role of Alex and you play the role of Tucker. Okay. I'll be blue.
That sounds good. Gotcha.
So Alex wrote to Tucker, hey man, I'm hoping you might have a few minutes to talk about your speech at Charlie's memorial and some of the other stuff you've said recently. I totally understand your concerns about Israel, even if I don't agree with all of them, but a lot of what you're saying feels anti-Semitic. There is no other way to say it, and I know I'm not alone in feeling this way. Heck, forget what Jews think. The anti-Semites certainly think so. You were a great voice for the truth on COVID and the mRNAs, and I appreciate your standing for free speech even now, but I wish I could understand what is motivating what feels like this increasingly dark turn in your rhetoric.
I'm really sorry about all this. All I can say is that it wasn't my intention to say anything about Jews, and certainly not to imply they killed Charlie, which I don't think. I thought I was giving the most unifying, non-controversial speech ever, what I described as the central story of Christianity, and it's so familiar to Christians that it never occurred to me that anyone would be offended. I had no clue until people started sending me Twitter links from accounts that are mad at me about my position on Bibi and Iran. Every page of the New Testament was written by Jews, most of it by a former Pharisee. So from a Christian perspective, the claim that the gospel is anti-Semitic doesn't make any sense. I do think that on some level, Zionists and anti-Semites look at the world through the same lens. They both assume that everything is about Jews. I don't assume that. I just wanted to talk about Jesus, and I'm sad that got obscured and turned into another battle in our propaganda wars. I've been involved in too many already. It also makes me sad that a lot of people know so little about Christianity that they come to conclusions like this. For what it's worth, Christianity teaches that Jesus was killed because of our sins, everyone's, and that would definitely include me. A lot of people online seem to think that everything is about Jews, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the darkness we should be worried about. Hate and narcissism are twins. I know the exchange was interesting, but it kind of conflicts with what we've seen over the past year and a half, don't you think?
Yes, I do. And in fact, there was one person on Twitter who encapsulated how I felt about reading this exchange so perfectly. It was Jackie Shea, who said, this is an encouraging response from Tucker, but it doesn't square with his choices in the past year. Daryl Cooper, Ian Carroll, Candace Owens are all open enemies of the Jews, and Tucker gave them a place of honor. Right. He legitimized them. He didn't push back on them. He acted like they were sharing revelations, add Mother Agapia and her views on Hamas. Meanwhile, he treated Senator Cruz with absolute aggression for espousing the opposition opposite position. He has taken a side, and the side is that of true anti-Semites. If that's not his side, he should have someone on as a gesture of goodwill. He should have a pro-Israel person on and not give them the third degree. He should have a pro-Churchill person on. We'll see which way he goes.
I mean,
and that's kind of where I am too.
Yeah, she's right. Because he has legitimized people that are anti-Semitic. He has absolutely done that. So, I mean, again, with your actions speak so loudly, I cannot hear what you say. That's kind of where I'm at on this.
Yeah.
But
and for him to say that, you know, Zionists and anti-Semites both think everything is about the Jews is super unfair. And for him to like remove himself from that equation when all he ever does on his show is talk about the Jews is just really disingenuous. So
it's like, I'm not in it. You guys are in it. I'm over here. I'm above it. It's like, okay, but you've added to that narrative. You've added to the whole anti-Semitic narrative by posturing these people, you know, by adding fuel to the fire. So what is it? I know it's all so weird. It's very interesting. I appreciate the things that he said, but I'm like, I'll wait and see.
Exactly. Yeah. I just sort of thought, all right, well, that's neat.
Interesting. Right.
We'll see how his behavior changes.
Right.
In any case, if you are a woman out there who is looking to get involved, maybe you're past the point of starting a TPUSA chapter at your school. There are still ways for you to get involved.
Yes. Listen, $20 or more for a donation. You can get a copy of the book, A Woman's Guide, 7 Rules for Success in Business and Life from concernedwomen.org. It's just concernedwomen.org/chicks. We love this organization because sometimes women are like, I don't know how to get involved. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to write my congressperson. They can help you with templates. They can help you with getting involved in different, the chapters, like local chapters. It's a grassroots organization where they can basically train you and help you get involved in ways that you never dreamed that you can get involved, because a lot of people just don't know how to get started. So they have Young Women for America collegiate chapters. They have outreach for moms and professionals and mature women like us. We're mature. It sounds really weird to say that we're age-wise, not otherwise, but they will educate you. They'll help mobilize you. And it's just a really easy way to get involved, and more Christian conservative women need to be doing that instead of just sitting on the sidelines. I think that goes without saying, especially with things that have happened over the past couple of weeks. I think a lot of us are ready to do that. So all you got to do is donate $20, receive the book. It's a great gift for somebody else. It's a great gift for yourself. It's concernedwomen.org/chicks. Go and check it out and do it and get involved, you guys.
Do it. All right. So yesterday there was a big UN meeting. And so all the world leaders gathered. They gave their speeches, and it was a very, very interesting day. And Trump had some real zingers in his speech. He absolutely slayed. I love that he just says to these people's faces, like, everything that's wrong with the UN. It's just, I mean, nobody else does it the way that he does it. And it was interesting because the evening started, the evening before yesterday's meeting started with Macron trying to get to the French embassy and being unable to because of Trump's motorcade. So he ends up like talking to the police, basically trying the whole, do you not know who I'm like a president. So my car should be able to get me to where I want to go. And they were like, sorry, dude, it's Trump and he trumps you. And so he ends up calling Trump on the phone going, I can't get where I need to because of you. And Trump's like, well, then just walk.
I'm sorry, I'm the president. I'm really sorry. It's just that everything's in frozen right now. There's a motorcade coming right now. That's why. I'm sorry.
If you don't see it, let me cross.
Oh my God, I cannot. It's so great.
Guess what? I'm waiting the street because everything is frozen for you.
Oh my gosh.
So he walked.
They're walking. That's so great. Trump is like, walk. He's like, no, okay, oui.
Okay, d'accord.
Oui. Yes.
I just thought that was so, I don't know. It just was so symbolic of literally everything.
Totally. Absolutely symbolic.
So that was one thing that happened. And then, of course, there was Escalator-gate, which is the new, this is the new thing that everybody is talking about. Unfortunately, even more so than Trump's speech itself, people are talking about what happened when he and Melania arrived to the building and got on the escalator. Somebody that had walked ahead of them went up just fine. But when they approached the escalator, this is what happened. Melania was like, I'm just walking.
I mean, why not? You could that's so interesting, though, right?
Yeah, it's very
intentional. It was intentional.
Well, and that is what Caroline Levitt was suggesting, because apparently there was a publication that was, I don't know, a week ago, this past weekend, I should say, that said, to mark Trump's arrival, UN staff members have joked that they may turn off the escalators and elevators and simply tell him they ran out of money so that he has to walk up the stairs. And so Caroline reposted that saying, if someone at the UN intentionally stopped the escalator as the president and first lady were stepping on, they need to be fired and investigated immediately. And that is happening. Like, they are
and
looking into it.
Whose money did they run out of? Because we've been we've been given more money than anybody else. You jackals.
We always have.
Right.
But Trump has pulled back some of their funding, and they're of course mad about it.
Yeah.
And they can suck it.
They can totally suck it. Pay your fair share. Oh, they're mad because we're not handling the brunt of everything, which is what we've done in the past. And they're mad because they're not sucking off the teat of America as much as they used to. And they're not getting all that money, and they're having to pony up. Sucks for them that they have to pay a little bit more of their fair share. I cannot believe that is crazy. Oh my God, they're mad about the money. Wow.
That was what this piece suggested.
Rich.
And it ended up totally backfiring, because apparently each leader has 15 minutes to be at the podium and make their speeches. And because of this escalator issue, and because there was no working teleprompter for much of Trump's speech, he ended up speaking more off the cuff. And instead of doing his 15-minute allotted time limit, he talked for 55.
I love it.
So they can suck it, because what they got by trying to, make Trump uncomfortable was more Trump. So congrats, UN.
Yeah.
You get what you get.
And that's the thing. Somebody said it, and it's like they're mad at Daddy for cutting off the funds. You know what I mean? And so Daddy's going to speak longer. He's just going to have more to say. Yeah. Too bad.
I love it so much. So we've got a couple of highlights from his speech. This first one, where he makes it very clear he is not impressed by what he has gotten in the way of treatment from the UN. Here's a little bit of Trump.
And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter, because the teleprompter is not working. I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Can you imagine Biden having to do that, though?
Oh my God. He wouldn't
do it. They'd walk him off the stage and they'd call a lid. That's what they do.
Exactly.
He's got to take a nap. He's so overwhelmed with the fact that he had to just speak off the cuff. He couldn't do it.
There's no way that he could have pulled it off.
Nope.
Absolutely no way whatsoever. And so the complaints about the escalator, the complaints about the teleprompter were not the only complaints. I mean, there's a lot of room to complain about the UN. And when Trump was talking about how he personally got in the midst of and helped solve 7 different conflicts, he also complained rightly about the fact that the UN, even though that's their job, never reached out to say, how can we assist in this? How about some recognition for the United States for their role in stopping these wars? And so he let them have it on that front.
I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape.
It's true.
We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
Actually, 3.
What is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. The only thing that solves war and wars is action.
Yeah, the third thing that he gets is a bill. We get a bill for this crap.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's insanity. Like, what a bunch of jerks. What a bunch of ungrateful jerks. Like, he's doing all the work. These people take us for granted. It's like a really dysfunctional relationship we got going on here, where we do all the work. We're in the group project. We're doing all the work. And these assholes are sitting around doing nothing. And they get used to it. They get used to the fact that we're doing all the work and we're doing all the heavy lifting. At some point, you look around and go, you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of doing all the work.
And he said, obviously he said as much in the clip that we just played, but when it was him and the United Nations president just together on a stage taking questions from the press, he was very diplomatic. And Trump was like, he kind of repeated the line about the United Nations has so much potential. I'm totally for the United Nations, would really like to see them fulfill the potential, but so far, nothing. And you're right.
They're lazy.
We just, we just keep writing the checks,
right?
Which is completely unfair, as it always is to America. And by the way, if you find yourself writing a lot of checks and you're worried about your retirement, we have help for you.
Yeah, Zach is the greatest, you guys. Our guy Zach Abraham is awesome. I used to have another dude. I'm not trying to be mean, but our accounts sat dormant for years. I mean, nothing was done with them. They were really unresponsive. We would have questions. They couldn't answer our questions about things. And then, a couple of weeks ago, Zach was like, hey, your stuff is up 28%. I was like, that's amazing. I mean, it really is. He's just so proactive. He's very proactive. He's really gung-ho about financial stuff. He's so excited to make you succeed. And I love that about him. I love a lot of things about him. He's a conservative guy. He's on our side with all of this stuff. And he wants you to succeed in retirement, which is such a wonderful thing, because that's not like a lot of these guys out there are not like, and women are not like that. So he has a great webinar coming up. He does these webinars several times a year, and he has one coming up on October 2nd. It's at 3:30 Pacific. It's called a Back to Basics webinar. And you guys can just check him out, see if you like him, which I know you're going to love him. You're going to totally fall in love with Zach, because we love him too. And he will share all sorts of financial insights. You can ask questions and everything. You can register now at knowyourriskpodcast.com. There's no obligation. You can just check him out. It's knowyourriskpodcast.com. And I have to do a disclaimer. You ready? Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25298. And I don't know what that means.
Good job.
Thank you.
Trump also talked about the fact that others say he should be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, but he does not care about that. Here's what he does care about.
Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which our country received no credit, never receives credit.
Right.
Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers, because millions of people are no longer being killed in endless and unglorious wars.
And you know what? He did that without a teleprompter.
Well, the teleprompter did come back.
Oh, okay.
So
all right. Well, there you go. But I mean, think about like that statement alone. That encapsulates him. Now, granted,
Yeah,
people
he
will say,
wants
I
the
don't,
killing to stop.
right. Well, people will say, I don't believe him because he's like an egomaniac or whatever. Okay. Well, I don't believe, I think that yes, he has a giant ego, but I also believe that two things can be true. He has a giant ego. He wants himself to succeed, but he also wants people to quit dying.
Right.
I believe that to be true too. I believe him.
That's always what he's wanted. That's always what he's talked about when it comes to stopping these wars.
Yeah.
He's not looking for personal glory. I think he thinks it would be nice. It would be nice to get recognition for things that he
thank
does
you.
well.
Right.
Yeah, especially from the freaking United Nations.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that he wants to stop the killing. And so he has said that multiple times. No reason not to believe him about that. He also put it to the mayor of London. He does not like that guy.
He
does
doesn't like
not
Trump
like him
either. Yeah.
And so here's what he said in front of the entire United Nations about the London mayor.
And I have to say, I look at London where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained.
He's right.
So right.
There was a tweet I saw this morning from Charlie Kirk, and it said that importing millions of Muslims is civilizational suicide. And I believe that Trump,
completely.
Yeah, it is absolutely 100% spot on. And I think that Trump and Vance are trying so hard to keep that from happening. They're trying to save Western civilization, you guys, because
Leave it
it
to the
is
United States once again.
right. Right. It's our responsibility to save Western civilization. That's precisely what they're doing. And when he's out there saying that stuff on a podium, it's because he knows that will be the fall of us.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the fall of all of us. We cannot have that shit spread here. We can't.
Yeah, it's why he's been so strong on migration. He talked about that a little bit too, which we'll get to in a second. But first, we'll just play this real quick clip of him addressing the green scam, all of this ridiculous climate change nonsense. There were other leaders who spoke, like super desperately about how we need to do something about this existential threat of climate change. Trump is not about it. And here is what he said.
They've said this is a disaster, what's happening. They were going all green. All green is all bankrupt. That's what it represents. And it's not politically correct. I'll be very badly criticized for saying it, but I'm here to tell the truth. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
He is going to tell the truth. It is a scam. Everybody knows it. Why these countries continue to want to just spend money and throw it at the clouds, as you say.
Yeah, staple it to
no
the
idea.
clouds. They want to staple money to the clouds is what they're doing. Your money, not theirs.
Right.
Your money. Make no mistake.
Yep.
It's all about taking your money. And then they say they're putting it on the clouds. We don't know where it's going. We know exactly where it's going. It's going in their pockets.
Right
I'm talking
there.
to you, Al Gore.
That's right. But on the issue of migration, Trump does not mince words. When he is thinking about illegals, his message to them is very, very, very clear.
Our message is very simple. If you come illegally into the United States, you're going to jail, or you're going back to where you came from, or perhaps even further than that. You know what that means.
You know what that means.
Hey, you know what that means. We do.
I love that.
Yep.
And then I know I'm probably the only one that got a kick out of this, but at the very end of his speech, it was such a "K thanks bye" moment, and it just made me laugh so hard the way he wrapped it up. So here is his closing couple of sentences, and I just love the way that he ends it.
We'll turn it around. We're going to make our countries better, safer, more beautiful. We're going to take care of our people. Thank you very much. It's been an honor. God bless the nations of the world. Thank you very much. Bye.
You just thought that was cute. He probably had to pee.
it.
He probably had to pee. He's up there for now and he's like, I got to pee. That's what I would do. I'd be like, I got to pee. I got to go. All right, bye. I've said enough.
I love that he was just like, God bless the nations of the world. Bye.
Right. You guys, listen, you suck. We don't. Get your shit together. I got to pee. Bye. That's literally what I would do.
It was absolutely great. So he really, though, I mean, you saw there was a couple moments where he mentioned the escalator, where he mentioned the teleprompter, and he did not want to let that go. Here's what he tweeted after, if you want to read this.
It was an honor, a great honor to speak before the United Nations. I believe the speech was very well received. It focused very much on energy and migration, immigration. I have been talking about this for a long period of time, and this forum was the absolute best from the standpoint of making these two important statements. I hope everybody gets to watch it. The teleprompter was broken and the escalator came to a sudden halt as we were riding up to the podium. But both of those events probably made the speech more interesting than it would have been otherwise. It is always an honor to speak at the United Nations, even if their equipment is somewhat faulty. Make America great again. He totally wrote that tweet. He totally did.
Without question.
All him. He's like on a plane writing that. Totally.
Do you think he's a thumb tweeter or
Yes.
like a finger tweeter?
I think he's probably a thumb tweeter. I think
I
he is.
can't
What
do that,
you guys
by the
think?
way.
I can't either.
I'm a pointer finger.
I'm like kind of at all the fingers. I'm just kind of like, I'm all over the place. Yeah. I do all the
This
things.
is my pointer. So it takes me longer. It drives around crazy because he and Jackson both are like thumb wizards. Like they can totally do it. And
That's
I
my
can't.
daughter.
I just can't do
That's my daughter. I've seen you text though, and you're quick.
You
with
think?
that. Oh yeah. I've seen you do it. And then sometimes you get angry texting and you just like you angry type. I used to work next to you. I remember when you angry typed. It was so fun to watch. She'd get all mad, you know.
I do angry type, man. I will slap on that keyboard.
She will. Yeah.
So the UK's Katie Hopkins had a bit of a summary of this entire speech, this entire UN thing, and I love her. She's so
Oh my
funny.
God. She is one of my favorites. Absolutely love her.
So there's no better summary of the day than Katie. Here she is to give you the update.
Breaking news, not quite in batshit bonkers Britain, where Trump is on terrific form over at the United Nations. He called them the United Nothings, told them they're achieving the sum of diddly squat, complained about the fact they couldn't even fix an escalator or a teleprompter. He went on to call the little Muslim mayor of London essentially a cunt. He said that Keir Starmer is for recognising the state of Palestine, and then he managed to block Macron's motorcade and told Macron that he better get out and walk. It was a glorious day for Trump and a great day for Americans. In other news, Brigitte Macron, wife of President Macron, is going to submit scientific and biological evidence that she is a woman. What are these pictures going to be, we wonder? Are there going to be pictures of Brigitte Macron's minge? Like, is the president's wife clunge going to be sent to the courts? Because having seen Macron's wife dancing, I certainly wouldn't want to see pictures of that department. And finally, Wes Streeting says we should trust doctors, not Trump, over things about Tylenol and paracetamol. Clearly, I'm no doctor either, but having seen what the doctors did to people during the time of lockdowns, refusing patients, refusing to treat cancer patients, forcing the state injectables into people that didn't need it, trying to kill off our elderly in nursing homes, would I trust a doctor at this point? I think that's going to be a no. Quite frankly, I would rather see pictures of Brigitte Macron's clunge than I would trust a doctor. That's it, my darlings. Batshit bonkers, Britain.
Oh God, I just love her. I love her. I do. We need to get her on our
the
show.
word clunge, and I am going to use it all the
From
time.
here to four. It's like now into eternity. I'm using the word clunge. That's what she's just so great, you guys. Love her.
I mean, minge I had heard, although
Right.
rarely, but clunge was a new one. That
Lunges. It's a Brit word. It's quite right.
I mean,
Clunge.
both minge and clunge
Clunge.
kind of sound like they're different types of shrubs. And speaking of shrubs, you guys,
It's like I would like to plant a hedge of clunge. I'm gonna ask,
I'm sure it's available at fastgrowingtrees.com.
I bet we could get it to put in my backyard. Did you guys know that you can plant things in the fall? Listen, you can. Fall is a great planting season. People just think it's for the spring. It's not. I am a brown thumb. I kill everything that I have except for the clunge and everything that I get from fast growing trees, every single thing. They have plant experts too. So if you're a complete loser when it comes to plants like me, you can call them and they can help you and like guide you through. My claim to fame in my yard are my knockout roses. I have my rose bushes are huge and gorgeous, and people always comment on them when they come over, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, I
work really hard on them.
Right. My roses are amazing, right? I mean, hello. I always act like I know what I'm doing, and I literally just put them in the ground, and I have done nothing. I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea. So fast growing trees, they have over 6,000 plants. They fit any space. They have like this 14-point quality checklist. They'll take you through things. Their plants are grown on American soil by American farmers, which I love. And you can get 50% off 50 on select plants and other deals at fastgrowingtrees.com. Use code CHICKS at checkout for an extra 15% off your first purchase. That's a lot, you guys. Mm-hmm. So it's fastgrowingtrees.com. Use code CHICKS. And if it's your first purchase, you get an extra 15% off of that already 50%. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
No clunge.
Marco Rubio was on with Fox yesterday. They were asking him about this letter that Hamas had supposedly or is supposedly sending to the White House to President Trump, specifically saying, hey, Trumpy Trump, we'd like to make a deal with you. We'll give you some of these hostages back if you promise that Israel won't attack us for 60 days. So Marco was asked about this letter, whether it was in the possession of Donald Trump, and here is what he said.
Secretary, Fox is exclusively reporting that Hamas wrote a letter directly to President Trump asking for a pause in fighting for 60 days in exchange for half of the hostages. Do you know if this letter has been delivered yet, and will the president entertain this idea?
I don't know who they gave that letter to. It wouldn't have mattered, though, because the president's been clear, and that is that we haven't seen the letter. We don't have that letter. And even if we did, it wouldn't matter. The president has already made clear he's not interested in 60 days, 10 people. He wants all the hostages out, all 48, including the 20 who are alive, 28 who are deceased. He wants them all. There should have never been any. Why are we even talking about hostages? Why do we still have to talk about hostages at this point? There shouldn't be any. They should all be released immediately.
It's like
I don't know why that's not clear.
Right. We're at 700 and something days at this point. Release the hostages, you terrorists. We shouldn't even be negotiating. What are they writing it? Yeah, in crayon.
Right.
Bunch of losers.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's stupid.
I was not prepared for there to be a telecom threat in the midst of this UN meeting, but that's exactly what Secret Service uncovered yesterday. I don't exactly understand the mechanics of it, so we'll just play this news report, which explains that this was really, really, really a big deal.
Good morning, Dana. Yeah, the Secret Service says this telecom threat was uncovered as agents investigated telephone threats directed towards U.S. government officials. The investigation led them to a chilling plot that, yes, could have crippled New York City's phone lines, data networks, even emergency channels, with world leaders now here in New York City for the United Nations General Assembly. The investigation began this spring, and agents raided multiple locations within 35 minutes of the UN, seizing hundreds of servers and more than 100,000 SIM cards. Tools capable of blasting out 30 million anonymous texts per minute, enough to flood and shut down critical systems.
Jeez. That is freaking amazing that they were able to uncover that.
Yeah, it's good that they were able to uncover it, but it's also scary that it could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I didn't even have that as a list of things to be paranoid about. And
yeah,
now I've
you
got
do.
to add it to the list.
That and the grid.
Already.
That and the grid are like jockeying for positions on her I'm freaking out list. Right.
I mean, I didn't need that. By the way, I forgot to warn you pre-show that you're going to be doing some heavy duty reading.
This is what you do to me. You just don't warn me.
So consider this your warning, because after the United Nations meeting, Trump had himself some solitary time, and he had himself a big think about the Russian-Ukrainian war.
Okay.
And he decided to share his thoughts about it. Here they are.
Okay. My God, Mock.
It's going to get worse. Just hang on.
It's going to get smaller. It's going to get smaller.
Yes.
It's like an eye test. I feel like I'm at Target Optical Center and I'm totally being judged right now. Okay. After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started, is very much an option. Why not? Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger. When the people living in Moscow and all of the great cities, towns, and districts all throughout Russia find out what is really going on with this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed, and all the other things that are taking place in their war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which is a great spirit and only getting better, Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form, and who knows, maybe even go further than that. Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and this is the time for Ukraine to act. In any event, I wish both countries well. We will continue to supply weapons to NATO for NATO to do what they want with them. Good luck to all. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Okay.
That is very much a change of perspective, shall
It
we
is.
say.
It is a change of perspective.
Yeah. And I think that I'm hoping that the reason that he kind of came to that conclusion is because of some fruitful discussions that were had at the United Nations with other leaders in Europe in particular. And maybe they finally agreed, for example, to stop getting their oil from Russia. I mean, some of the countries that are partnering with Russia while at the same time, you know,
giving them
criticizing them
right
for being warmongers. It just doesn't even make any sense. And he made that point in his speech, and perhaps that carried some weight and he feels good about it. So we'll see. But that's his new perspective. He believes Ukraine can not only win, but take back the territory that Russia has tried to take over.
If they cripple Russia economically. Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting sort of change of perspective there. Also, another thing that happened yesterday is that the trial of Ryan Routh came to a close. And when inevitably he was going to be found guilty, he defended himself. He's a complete psycho.
God,
and once the verdict was read, he decided to try to stab himself in the neck with his pen. 4 marshals had to check him, drag him out of the room, put him in shackles, and brought him back to the courtroom. His daughter, and I think maybe his son was there. The daughter became super spazzed out, was screaming at him, saying, "I'm going to get you out of here. You've been treated unfairly." She then leaves. Reporters are chasing after her. It was a complete cluster. But there was absolutely no doubt in anyone's mind that he was going to be found guilty, and he is going to spend the rest of his godforsaken life in prison where he belongs.
You try to kill a president. What do we expect?
I know. Hello.
What do you expect, lady, daughter?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
There's no, there were no cameras in the courtroom, but there was this drawing of the moment that he tried to stab himself in the neck. He's trying to position himself as some sort of a martyr, which nobody buys. He's just a psychopath and he needs to be locked up. But anyway, this was the scene as it played out. And Trump, obviously, once he heard the verdict, had congratulations in order for his Department of Justice. You can read this.
Congratulations to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and the entire DOJ team on the conviction in Florida of the person who attempted an assassination on my life. The trial was meticulously handled, and I would like to thank the judge and jury for their time, professionalism, and patience. This was an evil man with an evil intention, and they caught him. I would also like to thank the Secret Service, Department of Florida law enforcement, and the wonderful person who spotted him running from the site of the crime and acted by following him and getting all information on car type and license plate to the sheriff's office immediately, which led to his arrest and conviction. What incredible instinct and foresight this person had. A very big moment for justice in America. Yeah. And I mean, the fact that he is trying to paint himself as some sort of a victim, and his daughter is like, "I'll get you out of here. You've been treated unfairly." Suck a bowl, lady. I mean, your dad tried to kill a president.
But he says since the gun never went off, did he really try? I mean, could that really be considered attempted murder?
Whatever.
What a nutcase.
Yeah,
Oh my
total,
God.
absolute nutcase. He's better off in jail. We're all better off for him being in jail.
For sure.
And keep an eye on his kids, man. Because like his son, wasn't his son arrested for porn?
I think so.
Is he the one that was
I mean, the
arrested
whole
for porn?
family is
It's just a
super
mess.
sketch.
Total mess.
Super sketch.
Yeah.
In other news, you should know that we're staring down at another potential government shutdown thanks to Democrats who think it's their only leverage. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, is trying to put forth a clean CR continuing resolution, and he tweeted out this. Last week, the House GOP voted to keep the government open and sent our clean, nonpartisan, short-term government funding bill to the Senate. Now, Democrats are threatening to shut down the government unless their demands are met, which include the reinstatement of free health care for illegals. $500 million for liberal news outlets and other partisan priorities. In sum, this would be a massive $1.5 trillion spending hike tacked on to what is a simple 7-week funding bill. Unless they stop holding government funding hostage, this will clearly be the Democrat shutdown. And he's absolutely right about that. He went on to say, let's be clear on the Democrat position. They want to shut down the American government, hurting American citizens so they can give free taxpayer-funded health care to non-Americans. Make it make sense.
What a load of crap. Hold these people responsible. Seriously, call them out on it. Call them out on this. Why do they want so badly for illegals to get free crap on our bill? We are broke. Why do we want to do that? What are they doing? Why do they want so badly for us to be, for the demise of America at the expense of illegals, of people breaking the law? Why are they always on the side of criminals? Why?
And they won't say it because you'll notice that, excuse me, when they go on the talk shows right now talking about this, they keep saying, we just want Trump to give health care back to people.
Right.
They're not specifying that it's illegals. They're trying to make it sound like Trump has somehow taken health care away from American citizens, which is 100% false.
Correct them.
Yeah. You really need to correct them.
You have to. We have to. It goes back to the whole Charlie Kirk thing. They will spew lies and keep spewing lies. And then it's out there in the ether, right? And people are just like, oh, that's the truth. I believe it. That's the truth. Democrats, people on that side of the aisle believe that somehow Trump is taking away healthcare. Trump is taking away rights. Call them out on their bullcrap. Call them out. You have to.
And if you don't know how, you can always check out concernedwomen.org, as we mentioned earlier.
That's right. They will help you.
You also need to check out BonCharge if you want a refresh and you don't want to F with your face.
You don't want to F with your face. Listen, it works. Like red light therapy is pretty amazing. The face mask is awesome because it's flexible. I can travel with it. I can put it on for like 10, 15 minutes, a couple times a week. It's awesome, right? Because it contours perfectly to your face. It's really great. But I also like it because like now I'm getting to the point where I never have been able to relax. You know me, I'm not a relaxed person. But I can sit and relax for like 10 minutes and I'll just kind of lay there. It is forcing me to do that a couple times a week, which I really like. I like being able to do that. Plus your skin gets brighter. It's comfortable. It actually works. It's great for wrinkles. It's great for acne. It's great for all sorts, like just recharging and rejuvenating your face and healing. It has a lot of healing properties. So you should definitely check it out, you guys, especially if you're one of those people like us who just does not want to do all the injections and all of that other garbage. Go to boncharge.com/chicks. Use code chicks. Save 15%. That's boncharge.com/chicks. Get your glow up. It's good stuff.
And you guys, it is FSA, HSA eligible.
That's right.
It's an actual health tool.
It is.
So you can even use your HSA and FSA funds on it, which is really,
yes,
really
ma'am.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right, so now this is when you're going to have to get your real
God, I can't believe
eyes.
You're making me do this. You're being mean today. You're so mean.
It's not me. It's Trump. It's Trump and his tweets.
Oh my God.
He was really, really mad about this whole potential government shutdown thing.
Okay,
he was scheduled to meet with some Democrat leaders, and now he's just like super over it. And he's going to explain why in this giant tweet.
Oh my God. What? She's just mad at me today, you guys. She's mad at me for something.
It's not me.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I got to get up in here. I got to get all up in here.
All up in there.
Okay. After reviewing the details of the unserious and ridiculous demands being made by the minority radical left Democrats in return for their votes to keep our thriving country open, I have decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive. They are threatening to shut down the government of the United States unless they can have over $1 trillion in new spending to continue free healthcare for illegal aliens, a monumental cost, force taxpayers to fund transgender surgery for minors, have dead people on the Medicaid rolls, allow illegal alien criminals to steal billions of dollars in American taxpayer benefits, try to force our country to again open our borders to criminals and to the world, allow men to play in women's sports, and essentially create transgender operations for everybody. These radical left views and policies is what allowed me to win the presidential election, including all 7 swing states and the popular vote in a historic landslide. There are consequences to losing elections, but based on their letter to me, the Democrats haven't figured that out yet. They are trying to eliminate the popular $50 billion rural and vulnerable hospital fund, which was passed with only Republican votes and proudly signed into law by me. The Democrats in Congress seem to have totally lost their way. They obviously have no idea what it means to put America first or to make America great again. All congressional Democrats want to do is enact radical left policies that nobody voted for: high taxes, open borders, no consequences for violent criminals, men and women's sports, taxpayer-funded transgender surgery, and much more. Few people voted for what they represent, which would lead to the destruction of America. Instead, people voted for common sense, and that's what the Republicans and your president, Donald J. Trump, stand for. I look forward to meeting with them if they get serious about the future of our nation. We must keep the government open and legislate like true patriots rather than hold American citizens hostage, knowing that they want our now thriving country closed. I'll be happy to meet with them if they agree to the principles in this letter. They must do their job. Otherwise, it will just be another long and brutal slog through the radicalized quicksand. To the leaders of the Democrat Party, the ball is in your court. I look forward to meeting with you when you become realistic about the things that our country stands for. Do the right thing. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Oh my God, I need a drink after that.
That was a doozy. That's probably the longest one I've ever had you read.
Okay. He's right.
But
He's
every
right.
word was...
It was beautiful.
Chef's kiss.
It was chef's kiss, wasn't it? Beautiful. It was a beautiful tweet. It was just very long.
Yeah.
And I'm very blind. Right.
I mean, honestly, I am still feeling like I don't care if the government shuts down. I really don't.
I don't. I'm right there with you, sister. I don't care. I totally don't. Like, I mean, because they don't really do much anyway, right? That's how I've always felt about people in government. It's like, what's a couple weeks? What's a month? But
right.
The thing that I don't like about the government is that they continue to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, or they get back pay. So whenever they shut down the government, I'm just like, I really would like it if they just didn't get my money. Shut it down and don't pay these jerks. That would be ideal for me. But the fact that we have
if there's a shutdown, they should literally just stop paying Congress. That's what should shut down. Any pay for Congress, no back pay, and that's what would I can assure you that crises would be averted in that way.
It's exactly how I feel. If we could just not pay these people at all, and then they'd be like, "Oh wait, we're not going to get paid." Well, shit, we probably should work. Yeah, that's how the real world works.
Exactly. All right. I know we talked a bit yesterday about Kamala and her absolutely terrible book tour. It's not going well for her. It continues to not go particularly well. She made a stop at Good Morning America yesterday where she tried to explain why she feels like, of course, Biden could have served another term, but of course he couldn't run for another term.
My concern about him running for re-election was completely separate from my admiration and knowledge about his capacity to serve as president of the United States, which was consistent and never wavered.
Well, when we sit here, as we sit here today, do you think he would have been up for running the country for 4 more years?
Here's the distinction that I make. And having had the experience myself, it is one thing to have the capacity to govern. It is another thing to go through an election for president of the United States. So you are an athlete. You may appreciate this kind of metaphor. Running for president of the United States is like being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace with people throwing tomatoes at you every step you take. It is not for the lighthearted. It takes an incredible amount of endurance and stamina. And can you imagine doing it while you are also carrying literally the weight of the world as being president of the United States? So the distinction I make is about capacity to be president and what that election would require in that campaign, especially running against Donald Trump.
She is,
she's reaching.
she's also weak. Like she's such a complainer. That's all she did. That's all she's done on this whole tour, this book tour, is just complain and bitch and moan. She's pathetic and she's a loser. And she is a terrible, terrible example for women. Like we don't raise our girls to be pathetic, whining losers that point fingers at everybody else and are constantly victimized. Our girls are not victims. Our girls are conservatives. And there's a difference between conservative women and liberal women. Liberal women, I swear, you guys are constantly pointing fingers. I'm a victim. It's somebody else's fault. And they're constantly, this is what they do. This is what she did on The View. It drives me crazy. I can't, I hate that mentality. And you see it all the time from leftist women. And then they're like, I'm a feminist. No, you're not. You're weak and pathetic. And that's what she is.
Doesn't take a single shred of accountability, not a single moment of self-reflection, not a single second of considering the possibility that she is not likable, that no one actually liked her.
Right. Because you know who does that? Strong women do that. Strong women do that. They look at themselves and they go, what can I do to make things better?
Yeah.
How can I be stronger today? How can I do this? It's me. I'm going to handle this, because conservative women get shit done. They don't go around complaining and pointing fingers at people. That's what they do. That's what I don't like that about her. I think it's so obvious now, especially as she keeps looking back and pointing fingers. We totally dodged a bullet with this broad.
Oh my God, did we
just dodged all
and
the
of
bullets.
Course, the women of The View, it's a very, very softball, comfortable, warm and fuzzy place for her to be. And Ana Navarro asked her to say, what is the reason for your loss? I know it was a huge shock to you. It was a huge shock to us too. But what do you think is the actual reason?
Philadelphia rally the night before. And I was sitting behind your husband, Doug, and Maya and your family. And I remember hugging them and them telling me, we got this. I felt so good going into Election Day. And then I read in the book that you did too. I went into Election Day thinking you were going to win. Yeah. So did you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did. So, I mean, it was a very tight race. But ultimately, if you have to pin it down to one thing, what was the primary reason, do you think, that you lost?
There are many factors, I think, that played into the outcome of that election. But I think probably one of the biggest in my mind is we just didn't have enough time.
Oh my God. And there again, if you didn't feel like you had enough time, then don't run. Because I'm sure that there are other people that are like, you know what? This is enough time. I can do it. There are, I guarantee you, there are women out there, men for sure, but there are women out there that would be like, this is enough time. I got this. I totally got. She is weak.
And she hid. In the time that she had, she hid. So she could have used that time in a way that was far more productive. So you don't get to blame time now when you just didn't use it properly.
And it's not like she was new to America. She was the vice president of the United States. We all knew who she was. We all knew what her record was. So, I mean, to blame it on time, we had time with you. We got to see what you were capable or incapable of. It's just pathetic. All of it.
It is pathetic. And she, she took the loss, I guess, a lot harder than I knew, than a lot of people knew. She said it was kind of the same type of grieving as she had when she lost her mother, you guys.
But he was there. I've always on election, I'd done family and friends and dinner. But that night, I grieved in a way that I have not since my mother died.
Wow.
And it was
the audience.
The pain was, it was not at all about losing a race. I knew what it was going to mean for the country. I was going to say for the family. And that's how I felt, for the country.
We all agree.
I knew what it was going to mean.
it meant our borders were shut down, and it's great.
Yeah. It meant a lot of successes after you were gone that we've seen. Yeah. It meant that crime was going to be knocked out in a lot of cities and that a lot of people were going to be safer, women included. I mean, it meant a lot of positive changes in this country. So I don't know what family you're talking about, but I'm not a part of that family, that wacko family on that stage. I want no part of that family. I will be leaving that family. Thank you.
Thank you, but no.
Yeah.
She also continues to try to blow smoke at Joe Biden, insisting that once history has time to look back on his presidency, we're all going to be like, oh my God, he was so great. What?
And I also am very clear and have made a point of making it clear. Joe Biden was a highly capable president who accomplished great things that history will talk about.
Really?
Don't think that's true at all.
No, not at all. Nope. It was literally.
He only beat Jimmy Carter's record for being the worst president ever.
Right. He was the auto pen president. He wasn't even there cognitively. He had no idea where he was. He was crapping his pants, and he had a crackhead for a son. But you just go ahead and keep saying that out loud on your book tour.
That's fine.
There. Okay.
And the problem, everybody keeps asking, are you going to run in 2028? And I'm not, that's not my focus. I'm not thinking about that right now. Bullshit. That's all she's thinking about. But as Harry Enton shows, nobody wants this, you guys. Not a single person.
I would just say that if you want a messenger to go against Donald Trump, you can do far better as Democrats than Kamala Harris. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at her net favorable ratings nationwide. Back in October of 2024, she was at -5 points. Not exactly great, but pretty close to the zero mark, right? Pretty close to even. But now, down under she goes. She's at -13 points. That's an 8-point drop. Since the general election among the overall electorate, she is not well liked at this particular point. The American people, they don't want this. They don't want her. And get this, she's 37 points underwater with independents. If you can't win independents, you can't win the election. And the bottom line is, with those in the center of the electorate, those who are the most up for grabs, she is way, way, way underwater. She is definitely swimming with the fishes.
Well, I mean, like any true Democrat, I'm sure she'll run because they just don't pay attention to that stuff. They're like, "Oh, you hate me? I'll run. I'll run. I'll totally."
You don't really mean it. You just haven't. You just don't know me yet.
I'll make you love me. Join. This is what they do. It's just like this is true Democrat, right? This is what they'll do. They'll have all these unlikable, horrible, pathetic people that'll be running, and then they'll all be talking about Trump. This is all they're going to talk about. And he's going to be like, I'm not even running. It's JD Vance. I don't know what you guys are. I'm out. I'm like retired. Okay. But they're going to be talking about Trump until we cannot stand it anymore.
Yeah. It's all they've got. It's all they've got. And she's the worst among them. I cannot believe that she's going to make another attempt at it, but I do believe she will.
I think so too.
And Democrats, I mean, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll, this is not a conservative leaning pollster by any stretch. People were asked in this most recent September 19th to 21st poll, which party has better policy ideas on these categories? And Republicans are winning even on things that you wouldn't necessarily expect, like gun control. So people believe Republican policies around gun control are more favorable than Democrats. It's only on issues like women's rights, the environment, and healthcare, and respect for democracy, whatever the F that means. Those are the things where Democrats have a slight edge. But on the major issues that people care about, crime, it's double in favor of Republicans. Immigration, foreign conflicts, the economy. Republicans are far and away ahead of Democrats on these issues.
What women's rights have been taken away? I don't understand. Like, what rights have been taken away? I personally haven't.
All they care about is abortion.
It's just abortion. Because that's the thing. They would be hard pressed to give you any like rights that I haven't experienced. I don't know about you guys, but I have no plans to kill any babies. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're not planning on killing babies, name me another right that has been taken away from you as a woman. And you can't do it. You just can't. They're so freaking brainwashed, these people.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I think Kamala, she's like Hillary 2.0. You know, she just will not. She's so incredibly unlikable. This is what they do. They put these unlikable biatches up on stages and they're like forcing them down our throats. And we're like, no, thank you. But no, it's like, quit trying to make Kamala happen and Hillary and all these women.
And then remember how, like, for so long, Democrats would criticize anyone on the right who talked about the potential of elections not having integrity, of them being stolen. Remember, we used to even have to say pig Latin in order to even talk about Olin stay, actions illet.
Yes, we did. Totally.
But now we've got Democrats who are planning to run for president, like Gavin Newsom, saying on the Colbert Show that he's denying an election that hasn't even happened yet. This is what he actually said. And go.
I fear that we will not have an election in 2028. I really mean that in the core of my soul, unless we wake up to the code red, what's happening in this country, and we wake up soberly to how serious this moment is.
What an idiot.
It's constant. This is it's playbook, right? The fear mongering. He's like, well, I can't say Nazi right now because it's probably not a nice thing to say right now. I'll go back to saying Nazi and fascism in a couple weeks when all this stuff is calmed down. And then I can just go back to that playbook. But like right now, I'm going to say that, you know, elections aren't going to be fair and they're not going to let us have them. I'm going to do that fear mongering.
Because he's a dictator and tyrannical dictators don't allow elections.
What a piece of crap this guy is. He's just such a liar. Meantime, his state is on fire. Literally.
And he doesn't care, because another thing that he said last night was that he is in the midst of, and he called Trump a son of a bitch when he said this. He said, we currently have 41 separate lawsuits against that son of a bitch. That's what he's spending his time on, is just suing Trump randomly.
Well, that and podcasting, obviously.
Right, exactly. Yeah. God, I hate that guy.
I do too.
We have some updates from some stories that we talked about earlier in the week. Yesterday, we talked about how Keith Olbermann had threatened or seemed to have threatened Scott Jennings, our BFF. Scott. And Keith apologized. He said, I apologize without reservation to Scott Jennings. Yesterday, I wrote and immediately deleted 2 responses to him about Kimmel because they could be misinterpreted as a threat to anything besides his career. I immediately replaced them with ones specifying what I actually meant. I oppose and condemn political violence and the threat of it. All times are the wrong time to leave even an inadvertent impression of it, but this time is especially wrong. I should have acknowledged the deletion and apologized yesterday. I'm sorry I delayed.
Yeah,
so
somebody got to him. Somebody got to him. He's still a psycho, man.
Oh my God. He is
total
the
psycho.
Worst of the worst.
God.
Scott Jennings on his radio show said this about the situation.
Live on the Salem Radio Network, marking myself safe from that nut, Keith Olbermann, who you might have read, threatened yours truly on the internet yesterday. Everybody seems to have taken notice of this. The poster boy for left-wing outrage, the poster boy for complete broken brain progressivism, threatening me, of all people.
I mean, I
don't even know if he's safe necessarily. I don't think anybody's safe from Keith Olbermann.
I'd still keep your head on a swivel, Scott.
We didn't mention, this is actually something that we hadn't gotten to earlier in the week, but there was a guy, some leftist crazy, naturally, who decided, because he was so mad about Kimmel initially getting suspended by Disney last week, that he was going to shoot up the ABC headquarters in Sacramento.
Naturally.
And Naturally. And the guy, by the way, even in the midst of his shooting up the ABC headquarters, he is also very much in favor of gun control.
Of
which
course
is
he
hysterical.
is. They all are. They all are big gun control advocates, and they're the ones with the guns shooting stuff up. Isn't it weird? That's so weird.
It's
So weird.
So his name is Anibal Hernandez Santana. He was actually released after his initial arrest and then rearrested by the FBI. They actually, Sacramento was like, yeah, he's fine to be out on the streets. That's
Oh my
fine.
God.
And then apparently he had left a note in his car that said, the reason for the shooting is that for hiding Epstein and ignoring red flags, do not support Patel, Bongino, and Pam Bondi. They're next. CK from above.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do that, dude. You probably don't want to do that.
Psycho.
I feel like now you're on the radar.
Oh yeah, he's
So,
gonna be. I mean, he's going to jail.
What was the open to work thing? Where is he trying to get a job? Like what? And what is he? Did you see that? Was that like his LinkedIn profile? What was that? Did you see that?
Oh, on
Did
the
you see-
previous slide.
On
Let me
the
look.
previous slide, you said open to work.
Open to work.
I feel like you're not going to get hired by anybody now.
Right.
This is going to hinder your
That's-
employment opportunities.
Yeah, that's not happening,
Maybe.
dude.
Maybe it's just going to do that.
Yesterday, in advance of Jimmy Kimmel going back on the air, we already talked about the fact that Sinclair was like, we don't care what Disney says. We're not putting him on our affiliates. Nexstar also did the same thing. They made an announcement late yesterday afternoon saying that we have also made the decision to preempt, and they were not planning on showing him on their, 70 some stations. I forget the number. And so hilariously, Morning Joe decided, you Republicans need to watch your censorshiping because it's going to happen to you. Here's what he
Republicans
said.
aren't going to be in the White House forever. So they understood. Ted Cruz warned about it. Others warned about it. What we're doing to them right now, they will do to us when a Democrat. This is short-sighted. It makes no sense.
Oh my God. Where has he been? Where has this
I
guy
know.
been for the last however many years? Like we've lived through this forever. Welcome to the party, pal.
Right? Like
Good
they're going to try
Lord.
to act like Jimmy Kimmel getting a 3-day suspension is the worst censorship ever after what we all
God.
went through. And yesterday, this did not get nearly enough attention, but yesterday Google admitted censorship under Biden. They admitted that the Biden administration pressured them to censor Americans and remove content from YouTube that did not, in fact, violate their own policies. They said, this is Google now, said that the Biden administration censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. They said that they will never use third-party fact checkers, and they were welcoming people back. They said if you were a creator that got previously kicked off during COVID, please return. You're
Oh my
welcome to
God.
come back.
And that's just one of many. You and I lived. I mean, I am shocked that we're still here. Like there were days when we were living through the censorship crap.
God.
What years were it? Was like what 2017 and on. We saw people literally die. Like not, when I say die, like their companies were gone. They were wiped out because of the censorship that they saw on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg admitted it. He talked about it. My God, did people just forget that was the whole story? Like that was a thing. It was blatant censorship on the part of those administrations. And it wasn't just Biden, it was Obama too. It was those administrations, they censored conservatives. They went after conservatives and they squelched us. So these people can suck a bull when it comes to like clutching their pearls.
They don't even only get to blame administrations because
Right.
during Trump's presidency, they were doing this on their own anti-Trump. I mean, they were literally taking Trump off of X or Twitter,
Right.
as it was known.
And
so, I mean,
cheering
that
about
was
it.
not, obviously that was not something Trump was asking for. So, but for them to come out now and say, oh yeah, it was really bad under Biden. And we already saw the Twitter files. I mean, we already got access to all that once Elon took it over. But I mean, it was bad. And so for Morning Joe to be like, just wait, you're not always going to be in
It's like
power. Oh my God, dude.
You live in a bubble, Joe. You live in a bubble. The rest of us live in the real world and we've already experienced it. What? I just, these people need to get out
I know.
more.
And they're shameless about how really they are the ones that are in the business of government control. Like they can complain about Kimmel all they want, but Scott, that like disgusting soy man, Senator Scott Wiener in California, he said, can't wait to break Sinclair up. Corporate media consolidation doesn't jibe with democracy. And although Sinclair isn't a fan of democracy, most people are. And Brendan Carr called him out and was like, there it is.
Right.
This is all projection. When Democrats worry about democracy, they are always projecting.
Yeah.
Always.
This is it. Exactly. God, these people they just are shameless.
They're the worst. They're the absolute worst.
And it's
Now,
like hypocrisy is their name. That's all they do is just go out there and shamelessly be hypocritical. You can call them out time after time after time.
Yep. And then shortly before, not shortly, but like a few hours before Jimmy Kimmel was supposed to air, Nexstar and Sinclair, both, and Disney, they were basically saying, we're working to get this all resolved, but we want an on-air apology from Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm going to assume that this was enough for them because he turned on some waterworks to make it really, really earnest, I guess. Here's a little bit of what he said last night.
I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make, but I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way. I have many friends and family members on the other side who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on politics at all. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever.
I think he's full of shit.
He's so full of shit. And then he
Totally
had Robert De Niro on, and he completely doubled down, essentially, I mean, on how awful MAGA is. So it was, I mean, he did probably what he needed to do to get back on the airwaves, which
to get his job.
is unfortunate.
Yeah, he wanted his job.
He was full of shit.
He wants his
Absolutely
job.
full of shit.
Yeah, and he was talking about how you probably don't have the clip, but he was like, we should be able to
That's all I could take from him.
Yeah, he was like, we should be, but in this country, we should be able to have this forum to say whatever we want to say. Like he did make a note to say that he's somehow entitled to a job on late night TV. You know,
and he blamed Trump for having him be suspended for 3 days, which is nonsense.
Which is absolute nonsense, you know? And listen, who's allowed to go on the air and have a late night show where they make fun of transgender people and the pronoun people? Can somebody name me? I seriously, name me a late night show where they do that. Do they is it just Greg Gutfeld? I don't know. Does he have a late night show? Do they do that? Did they just make fun? Is it just him? His is a late night show, right? Is it considered that? But I mean, like, do they make fun of Muslim people? Do they make fun of transgender people? Do they make fun of like everybody on the left all the time? I mean, like, how many of those late night shows do that? And like, how would that fly? I'm just curious. I'm just putting it out there because would he cry for that person to stay on the air? Would liberals cry for those people to stay on the air? And if there were more of those as opposed to less of the other, would they be okay with that? Just curious.
No, because we already saw exactly their reaction when Tucker was taken off the air. I mean, we've seen exactly what they say when people they don't agree with are taken off the air.
Right. And he did.
There's no surprises.
Just for the record, he did make light of a young man's murder. He did make light of it.
Of course he did.
He absolutely did that. He's a liar. And he did blame basically half the country. Like he said, it was MAGA. He did say those words. He didn't actually apologize for that. He didn't. I didn't hear an actual apology. So I still think he's a piece of crap.
He
do.
totally is, without question.
Right.
We also need to follow up on the whole Tylenol hullabaloo from RFK Jr.'s announcement earlier in the week. Dr. Oz came out to give some more color to the whole Tylenol issue. Here's what he said. I thought his messaging was absolutely
We believe
perfect.
that, especially heavy use of acetaminophen, and this is based on data that was compiled by the Harvard School of Public Health just several weeks ago in an important publication that looked at 46 prior studies. And it is true there have been some studies that have not shown a correlation, but there are many more that have shown a concern. Now, the question is, what do you tell families? You can't tell them nothing, which has been what's happening for the last couple of years, because people feel like they're being blown off, or they're being held back from understanding truly what we understand within government. What we understand in government is what you heard yesterday from the president, Secretary Kennedy, and the three agency heads, Jay, Marty, and myself. We know that people who take Tylenol for prolonged periods of time during pregnancy seem to have a higher incidence of autism in aggregate. So the message is not never take Tylenol. It's take Tylenol judiciously. Take it by talking with your doctor. Make sure there's an important reason to take it. Don't take it willy-nilly because you think it's so safe it couldn't possibly cause a problem. Because those assumptions appear to be erroneous.
Okay.
Kurt Schlichter said the same people who are telling me it's a great idea to give chemicals to kids to somehow conform them to their gender delusions are also telling me Tylenol has nothing to do with autism. I don't know if Tylenol has anything to do with autism. I do know that a lot of the people denying it are scumbag liars who mutilate kids, and I'm going to take that into account when I assess their claims about anything else.
He is 100% correct.
Yep.
Yep.
And amazingly, in order to stick it to Trump, there are dozens and dozens of pregnant liberal women making videos of themselves downing Tylenol to stick it to, I mean, like the level of mental illness that it requires for you to put unnecessarily your unborn baby at risk is like next level. Like I don't even understand that.
And they're breeding, like, and the narcissism in these women, like the fact that they're filming doing this and they're like, look at me. And these are mothers.
I made a montage of them. Some of them are silent because they're just like dancing in them to music. But the one at the very end is herself a doctor.
Oh my God.
So just keep that in mind when
God.
you start to see these absolute psychopaths doing this for the gram. So this one was an example of one that had music behind it. And she's like, look at me. I believe in science. Then you might want to read up the studies from Johns Hopkins and Harvard.
And
you
PubMed
idiot.
and ResearchGate. It's all over. Like, does a doctor not know of a thing called PubMed? Don't ever go to that doctor. Don't. And
about to take Tylenol for my headache while pregnant because I don't take my medical advice from a man who doesn't have a degree in science, healthcare, or medicine, and who had a parasitic brain infection and was addicted to heroin for 14 years. Yeah, I'll trust my doctors who have their degree.
All right. Sick burn. Meanwhile, autism in your liver.
What in the world?
Yeah, it's a super sick burn, lady. I will never understand this level of hatred. I will not.
This is the doctor. She's a fertility specialist.
28 weeks pregnant. You know what I'm gonna take? Some Tylenol, acetaminophen. It's gonna work like a charm, and my baby won't have autism.
I hope it doesn't, but you're a psycho. You are a psycho.
I guess we'll see. Crazy person. Oh my God.
So even Dr. Nicole Saphier came out and was like, listen, pregnant women popping Tylenol like Tic Tacs to stick it to Trump, please stop. Do not weaponize your pregnancy for a political point. Consider acetaminophen only when absolutely necessary for the shortest duration and lowest dose. Even the makers of Tylenol say this.
Why do we have to say this out loud?
In fact, Tylenol, people went through the official Tylenol Twitter account. You guys, I almost couldn't believe what I saw. But first, you're going to see that there was a lawsuit in February of 2017. Johnson & Johnson settled over 200 Tylenol lawsuits for an undisclosed amount, primarily concerning alleged liver damage and deaths from the use of acetaminophen. And separately, a larger ongoing Tylenol autism lawsuit was consolidating in federal court by 2017. So this is actually not just out of nowhere, brand new information. But it gets even crazier because in 2017, Tylenol, the Twitter account, said, "We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today." They said this in response to a pregnant woman.
And a fertility specialist is out there going, "Oh my God, take it. Just take it."
Yeah. And 2019, "Congrats on your upcoming edition. So exciting. It'd be great to touch base real quick since we haven't tested Tylenol to be used during pregnancy. Call us when you can, whatever." I mean, this is from Tylenol. And yesterday they released a statement like refuting everything that the Trump administration said. Why? They're on record saying that it's not safe to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like such a crazy level of hatred
It is.
for Trump that it's dangerous.
It is. It is dangerous. It's dangerous. And like when you start seeing people do this, just step away. It's like I always tell my kids, if you see like people this crazy and dangerous, walk away.
Yeah.
And so this kind of crazy, I want nothing to do with this level of crazy. When it starts affecting like people's health, I pray for their babies, man. Like these are babies they are just like, screw it. I hate somebody so much. I hate them more than I love my child. What kind of sick people do that, man? I just don't, I will never.
Crazy.
I'm so glad I don't understand that level of hatred. I will never understand it.
I know. It's just nuts. Okay, we need some fun stuff and we've got it. And we're going to start off with a very, very, very angry cat named Sir Pounce.
Owning an angry cat, part 2.
So mad.
Really, Sir Pounce? Let's just say owning an angry cat involves a lot of treats to get the pets off. With owning an angry cat, you gotta give it a good name. Like Sir Pounce. You can't beat Sir Pounce.
Oh my God.
All right, let's let go. Let's let go. Who's coming up with Sir Pounce as a name? With owning an angry cat comes the need for some catnip.
Yes.
I'd recommend a daily dose.
Drug him up.
Or however much he prefers.
Give
Whatever
him a
he
drug.
says goes. Or bad things happen.
That's right.
And if you take it away from him, like so, growl. Right on cue. Hey, I took it away. Okay. Sir Bounce? Hey. Hey.
Oh my
With the daily
God.
dose might come an addiction. Hey! Sir Bounce. Okay.
He is angry.
So angry. Probably because he's wearing like a 10-pound gold chain.
Yeah, he's Flava Flav. That's what they should have named him Flava Flav, you know?
I know. I had an angry cat too.
You did.
But she wasn't angry with us. She was just angry with strangers. Like that is
What?
not
Because
good
her name was
behavior.
Kitty, right?
Kitty.
You're so good with names too. I'm surprised you didn't give her a better name. You're just like, nah, Kitty's good. I'm surprised.
I called her that like when she first came home. I was kitty, and then it just stuck, and I just never came up with anything.
You could never give her an actual name. I mean, I'd be pissed too if I were her.
Yeah, I guess that's probably why.
Yeah.
The next one, I just love this so much. So there's a new prank trend where people are using a fake knife. It's a retractable, it's like one of those toy knives that looks like a real knife, but it actually, when you press it against something, the blade just folds into it.
Okay.
So it's a fake knife. And so here is the reaction of people not realizing it's fake.
What am I holding this for?
Ow! What the fuck, man?
Well, let's find out.
He's so close with that.
That is so mean. It's so mean. Look at the babies in the background watching it. That's what I would do. I hate this prank. I hate it.
Babe. Babe.
I hate it. I don't like that prank. I don't.
I love it. I love
I
it
hate
so
it.
much.
And I hate knives. Like I can handle guns, right? I don't like knives. Do not like.
Oh my God. The lady that was just like walloped her son or whoever that was. That was my favorite.
Right. I would do that. It's not okay. I don't like it.
We need a little ASMR, and we get it courtesy of this raccoon who apparently sleeps in a drawer, but he's very, very ASMR-y.
Their bellies. Why? Why is he in a drawer?
I don't know. That's where he sleeps.
Mock is so like entertained by this.
I love them. There's so many baby raccoons in our neighborhood right now. They're everywhere.
Are you serious?
They're so cute. Oh my God. They're so cute.
She's gonna steal one, you guys.
I kind of want to.
Seriously, is gonna steal a baby.
Last but not least, an example of how AI is freaky deaky, man. Freaky deaky.
I don't like any of this. I don't like it. I don't. That was not.
It's freaky.
Nobody needs that.
I know it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Don't like.
All right, we do have some thank yous from yesterday. Autumn Venata said no need to share this, but I'm sharing it. Just so you know, you shared with everyone at the end of your show about your mammogram.
I know.
I LOL'd hearing Amy say it's like getting smashed in a fridge.
It's true.
Just wanted you to know that the live stream was still going. Love you and hope your mammogram goes well.
How was your mammogram?
I will say I am so impressed with Beaufort Memorial because I've never had this happen in Indy. I went, I had it done. It like was lickety split, super easy. I mean, obviously it's not comfortable, but like they made it as comfortable as possible. An hour and a half later, they called to say that my results were fine. An hour and a half later,
that's
I knew the result.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. That's great.
So
good for them.
And we're aware that there's like a little lag at the end where we're still on camera. I didn't realize it was going to be extra long yesterday.
Yeah,
so
yesterday
we'll be careful about what we say.
We were having a conversation about our health care. That's always good. It's like next time it'll be about pap smears, you guys. Woo! Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. From Diana Logsden, she said, thanks for the Rockstar video. Was having a blue day and it really helped. Love you, chicks. I'm glad that it helped. Dana Spain said, Dad Joke Wednesday. A man travels to Israel with his wife and mother-in-law. The mother-in-law dies on the trip. A local mortician offers to bury the woman for $150 or ship her home for $5,000. The man chooses to ship her home. Why? He can't take the chance she comes back 3 days later. That's happened there before.
Oh my gosh.
She sent another one for an odd amount, $57.86, saying, morning from Arizona, beautiful chick. Seems like an odd dollar amount. It's actually $57.86 by the Jewish calendar as of today. Happy and healthy New Year to all of my fellow Jews in the COTR community. Now take my shekels, you jerks.
I love it. Thank you, Dana.
Kelly Wiseman, Dad Joke Wednesday, you jerks. Fun fact, koi fish always travel in groups of 4. When attacked, koi A, B, and C scatter, leaving the decoy.
I see what you did there, Kelly.
Now you.
Okay, Marcy Parallels. Good morning, chicks. Dad Joke Wednesday. What's the difference between snowmen and snow women? Snowballs. Have a wonderful day. Brian Brumley. I tried to raise snakes, but they wouldn't multiply. Turns out they were just adders. Take my jerky money. Get it? Uh-huh. Robin Dye. Isn't Mother Agapia George Stephanopoulos' sister? Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. There's a resemblance there. Like,
unfortunately,
a big resemblance. Aaron Krieger. Someone told me my clothes were gay. Turns out they were right. They came out of the closet this morning. Happy Dad Joke Wednesday. Take my money. I love it. Karen Pyra. Trump also revealed that the UN was funding mass immigration in the U.S.
Surprise.
Bo Mama 8. Why does your mother-in-law say you don't need a GPS? Because she can already tell where you're going wrong. Have a great day, chicks. I love that one. Samantha Cape Hart, I'm reading Unveiled, How Western Liberals Empower Radical Islam. One of the most impactful and sad books I've ever read. I thank God for America. Yes, and we need to make sure it stays intact and we reject that whole ideology. C Noons, my Brit friends taught me my fave. While describing coworkers, they said bit of a bint, aren't they? It's the bitch and C word combined. They think I'm complimenting them. It's a bit of all right, balls. I love it. Okay, well, now you know. Everybody knows. MT, hummus eaters was weird. Saying people in power took Charlie. Trans furry lovers are in power. He mentioned Israel in like every episode of his show. It's true.
You're talking about Tucker.
Yeah,
I know.
Tucker.
That's why, the apology's fine.
Right.
But
as the kids would say, it's just sus. That's all.
It's very sus.
Lori Weens, Dad Joke Wednesday. Where do the pumpkins have their meeting? In the gourd room. What do you call a French man wearing sandals? Philippe Fallope. Have a mint majesty tea with 2 honeys on me. I got to try that. I need to try that drink and see how, like, what the big, I just have never.
It sounds delicious, actually.
It does. Yeah. BTK, Daisy, I missed it. Please reread the Trump tweet. No. The photo and the story. Good morning, ladies. I have been checked out of politics mostly, but I could not resist checking with the best. Trump is the relief valve. Left is not letting America course correct. Bad days ahead. No, I don't
say that.
I don't think
I
so.
reject that.
I reject that too. I think good days are ahead. The photo and the story. C Noons. CNN guy's so much better than Frank Luntz. Yeah, and I don't think Frank likes him because of that.
He doesn't.
They're like,
he's such a jerk.
New fave. Kamala swims with the fishes. She's been down under before. Willie knows. See news. Dee Thomas. I think Cam stopped by Jamaica and got that 180 proof rum because she was orbiting Earth in that clip. Yeah, she's drunk on scotch. Tilt the world girl. I've never in my 54 years been called by a pollster. Where do they get their numbers from? Is it just me? I'm the same way. Like, when is somebody going to call me and ask me my opinion? Because I will give it.
I will happily give it.
Me too.
Happily.
Kim H. Kimmel isn't sorry. He's only saying that because he got his ass handed to him. He meant every word he said about Charlie's murder, and he knew exactly what he was saying. From the mouth, the heart flows. I agree, Kim. Totally agree. It's just insincere, that apology and the fake crocodile tears, whatever. Jolly Roger. Macron went wee all the way home. He did. He did indeed. Okay, we're bringing it in. We're bringing it in. It's Wednesday, you guys. We hope you have the best hump day ever. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the ChicksontheRight's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.